Ireland's open support for Palestine is evident through various channels. The sharp satire of comedian Fahd Hickey, the vocal advocacy of Irish politicians on international stages, the solidarity of football fans waving Palestinian flags at matches, and the impactful pro-Palestine marches across Irish cities. This collective effort paints a vivid picture of a nation deeply invested in the Palestinian cause. Notably, in 1980, Ireland was the first European country to recognize the Palestine Liberation Organization, PLO. This raises an intriguing question. Why is Ireland such a strong advocate for Palestine? Ireland's support for the Palestinian state can be traced back to shared historical experiences and a deep sense of empathy stemming from Ireland's own history of colonial struggle. Ireland and Palestine, with their initial occupations by England and Israel respectively showing notable parallels. These occupations, each sparked by significant events, led to extended conflicts and deeply influenced their respective histories. The occupation of Ireland, which began with the Anglo-Norman invasion in the 12th century, marked a significant shift in the country's history, heralding the start of prolonged English involvement. This presence was later strengthened under Henry II and became more systematic, especially during the Tudor period, leading to entrenched conflict. Conversely, the Israeli occupation of Palestine originated in the 20th century, following the creation of the State of Israel in 1948 and the ensuing Arab-Israeli War. The Six-Day War in 1967 further solidified Israeli control over Palestinian territories. These occupations were paralleled by similar strategies of land confiscation and demographic change. In the 16th and 17th centuries, the English undertook a systematic approach in Ireland, especially notable in Ulster, where they established plantations. This strategy involved relocating British settlers onto Irish land that had been seized, fundamentally changing the region's demographic and cultural fabric to enforce Anglicization and control. Similarly, in the West Bank and East Jerusalem, Israeli settlements have led to substantial demographic changes, with over 700,000 settlers now living in areas crucial for the future of a Palestinian state. In both Ireland and Palestine, these settlements have been pivotal in the political and demographic engineering by an occupying power, reshaping the identity and structure of the occupied territories and contributing to ongoing conflicts. English colonization in Ireland was marked by a strategic trio of land confiscation, restrictive trade practices, and aggressive resource exploitation. These measures profoundly altered the Irish economy and society. Notably, the mid-19th century Great Famine, which led to the tragic death or emigration of over 2 million individuals, was severely intensified by British economic policies. Similarly, in Palestine, the Israeli occupation has posed substantial challenges for the manufacturing sector, including limited access to raw materials, movement restrictions, and export limitations. Additionally, Palestinians face considerable difficulties in land cultivation, largely due to Israeli control over imports and exports. These experiences underscore the profound impact of occupation on the political and economic structures of the occupied territories, leading to dependency and restricted growth. During their respective struggles for independence, both Irish and Palestinian people faced similar negative stereotypes that significantly influenced international perceptions and justified policies against them. In late 19th and early 20th century Ireland, under British rule, the Irish were stereotyped as ignorant, uncultured, and violent. This mirrored the Palestinian experience post-1948, particularly in opposition to Israeli occupation, where Palestinians were also labeled as terrorists, especially in the context of their resistance movements. Palestinians have been portrayed as barbaric and primitive, with statements like Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant's, "We are fighting against animals," exemplifying these stereotypes. These stereotypes served as tools for colonial or occupying powers to delegitimize the independence movements, justify their own actions, and misrepresent the cultural and political complexities of both the Irish and Palestinian peoples. In the pivotal year of 1920, at the height of the Irish struggle for independence, Great Britain deployed the Black and Tans, a contingent of about 10,000 men from the UK. Infamous for their brutality, this unit carried out indiscriminate acts of violence against innocent Irish civilians, responsible for numerous horrific acts, including the widespread burning of towns, homes, businesses, farms, and community centers, and were culpable in the mass killing of civilians. Following their deployment in Ireland, members of this unit were then assigned to Palestine, under British control after World War I. In Palestine, they continued their pattern of violence, leaving a legacy that influenced subsequent military actions in the region. Ireland, much like Palestine, has a long history of enduring foreign occupation, characterized by periods of famine, dispossession, and harsh military crackdowns that have left a profound mark on the collective consciousness of its people. The Irish perspective on the Palestinian struggle is deeply influenced by Ireland's own history of anti-British rebellion and the painful civil war that resulted in Northern Ireland remaining under British control. For many in Ireland, the Israeli state is perceived as a colonial entity, evoking memories of British influence in Ireland's past. Ireland's support for Palestine is evident through both political statements and public demonstrations, as well as civil society movements. While this stance has occasionally led to diplomatic tensions with Israel, it underscores Ireland's unwavering commitment to standing in solidarity with Palestine and advocating for justice and freedom.